trend lines, how to draw them. Quick refresher. This video should not be too long. Again, as always, if you haven't taken the trend line course portion, do not watch this video. Just as a friendly reminder, trend lines typically often form like symmetrical, descending or ascending triangle formations. So it just kind of depends on what the trend line is going to be doing. But for the most part, just always remember you have 2 points. So once you have like kind of 2 points established, you can begin to draw your trend line. So let's just say we had 1 point there, 1 point there. Then on the bottom here, we had 1 point here, 1 point here. So 1 point there, 1 point there. And you can always just bring these trend lines out to the future. A lot of times you have to remember that the first time you draw it, like you have to adjust your trend lines kind of as the market develops, because you'll notice like a lot of times maybe like you thought the market, well, before I do that, let me just go ahead and just draw this little example. So like trend line, bouncing, 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 and then finally broke one way or the other, finally broke, okay? Like a symmetrical triangle, trend line formation, and then sometimes you might have it like where it's like this. You have lower highs, let me go. Here, 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 here. And so you could have like a descending triangle like this, a pure descending triangle. And at the bottom, it's really just like a support level. But technically this is a descending triangle. It's getting lower at the top, it's staying the same at the bottom, so descending. And then the exact opposite for the other side, you have market doing this, here, 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 here. So you have 2 points. So you have your 2 points down here. So you start drawing your trend line, you move it out into the future. At the top, you have like a support level. So really an ascending triangle, because the bottom is getting higher, the top is remaining the same. And then market came down here, boom, then maybe it broken out. So those are all the three variations of like triangle formations. Just a quick recap with like trend lines. Again, you just have to just try to spot them out. And remember, as always, if you're ever confused about the market, just draw the market. Just draw it out. See what you see when you remove it. See what you see when you remove it. So here, 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 here. And that's what you have. So you can just remove it and just look at it. So this is the reason why I said sometimes your trend lines are going to have to be adapted. This is a really good example. At first look, you might say, and remember, you want to take it from like a wick to wick most of the time. Your first point should always be like the wick of the starting point. But trend lines are something you have to just be open and willing to adapt. Like don't be stuck in your ways. You might start your point A right there with it, or you might start right here with it, and then make this a little bit more aggressive to catch these wicks down here. So say I had this like trend line originally, like I originally was drawing this trend line right here. Boom, okay, it kind of broke out here, broke out of this lower area, which is perfectly fine. You say this trend line was broken, and then it came back up here. So you could have had this trend line, but then as the market began to adapt, you can look for other potential trend lines. You could draw one like from here to here, which this is so almost like just a normal resistance level. So anytime the angle of the trend line gets a little bit too even, you might be better off just going here and just drawing like a support level and just saying, I'm just going to use this as a support. So that's one example. Or say we were sticking with our trend line, could just say, okay, I'm going to take this boom here, and I'm going to take this boom here, and just see where the market goes. And then on the bottom, you might have like, say you had like point A, and you may have thought that this was point B. Let's just see what the market does. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Maybe this isn't the second point. Maybe you need to adjust your trend line like to this, more of that degree of an angle. So maybe this is what the trend line looks like from here. Okay, boom, so it kind of respected off of that area. Again, because this top area is so horizontal, I personally would just stick with, like if I was looking at this market, I would just stick with a resistance level up here. And then just my trend line would be on the bottom. So what we have right now is an ascending triangle. It's getting higher at the bottom, staying the exact same at the top. Okay, and it looks like it broke out of that potential trend line. So now this trend line is kind of invalid, etc., etc. Okay. Let's see if I can find a little bit better example. There's one right here you can see. So like boom, boom, boom. It's kind of a trend line right there. And on the top piece here, you can also say, take this. A little aggressive on the trend line there, so I might just bring it down a little bit and try to catch a little bit more of these overall wicks on all of these. So kind of a descending triangle formation, and broke out at the top here and then it shot up. Let's see. Just want to find some clean ones. Take a point A right here, point B. So you caught this one, then you went out into the future, and then the market came down, hit it until it kind of broke through. So market was here, came up, hit it till it broke through. Counter trend line right here. Remember, counter trend lines are going against the overall market. So right now we're like in an overall uptrend. You draw a counter trend line, it's going against the overall market. So like a counter trend line right there. They're pretty easy to spot. You pretty much just think about support levels, how we draw, how like you have like here, 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 and then you drew like a support. It's the same exact kind of concept except slanted. So you'll see like market will do this, here, here, bounce off it, bounce off it, bounce off it. Or the market will do like here, 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 here. And so like it pinches, you may have like one like up here, trend line, and then potentially one like maybe following it like that and slowly get into a pinch point. Like way down here, it might slowly get to that area where it pinches out. Basically, yeah, so it's essentially you want to just find these kind of horizontal support and resistance levels. So they're basically just horizontal levels. I'll find one more, see if we can get a pretty decent one. And get into this more, but the Euro market's a pretty sloppy market, to be honest. Like even like right here, you can go like here and just catch those. See how the market came up and it's bouncing off of it, bouncing off of it, bouncing off of it. If this was like a support level and we just move this down, it'd be the same as that concept happening. The market would have just came, bounce, 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 bounce. So it's kind of the same concept as support and resistance levels. Yeah, this is a pretty sloppy pair. I probably should have used like a different pair for this video, but the overall concept is, I think, good to go. So like you had another one right here, you could see like maybe draw this trend line, point A, point B, and then it slowly got down to here, and then it broke. So this is kind of like a symmetrical triangle. It's getting lower at the top and it's getting higher at the bottom, and then broke out. So quick little video over triangle formations. Like I said, you still have the course. You can always go back and reference the full detailed video of this, but this is just a refresher if you want a quick little refresher.